The vast darkness of space was quiet. No sounds traveled through the endless black. Only the light of distant stars shone cold and silent. In this quiet, something strange began to happen. Far away, in the edge of the galaxy, a sudden wave of energy spread quickly. It was not like any normal star or explosion. This wave was a strange shockwave, a ripple moving faster than light, crossing star systems in seconds. No one had seen this before. It was a warning, but no one knew who sent it or what it meant. On the planet Varnak, the heart of the alien empire called the Xylox, the leaders watched the stars carefully. They were strong and proud. For hundreds of years, the Xylox ruled many worlds with power and fear. They had a large army and the biggest ships. They were ready for war at any time. Commander Zarnak stood on the bridge of the flagship, the Dark Talon. His eyes were sharp and cold. The huge window showed the stars. But now something was wrong. The sensors picked up the shockwave. It moved too fast. It was strange and dangerous. "Commander," said the science officer, his voice tense. "The shockwave is reaching our border systems. It looks like an energy pulse, but its origin is unknown." Zarnak frowned. Could it be a weapon? Unknown. "Sir, our scans show no signature of any known weapon. It is something new." Zarnak clenched his fists. The Xylox did not like the unknown. It was a threat. The entire Empire's military network was on high alert. Ships moved to defensive positions. Alarm sirens echoed through the command decks. Meanwhile, far across the stars, in a small star system called Sol, a different scene was unfolding. On Earth, the last home of humanity, a great warship was preparing to leave orbit. It was called the Titan X, the most powerful human ship ever built. It was huge and strong, with weapons that could destroy entire fleets. But more than weapons, it carried the hope of humanity. Captain Mayra Collins stood on the deck of the Titan X. She looked up at the stars through the transparent dome above. Her crew was busy making last checks. The tension was high. For years, Earth had watched the wars between alien species. Humans had stayed quiet, hiding behind their small defenses. But now, everything was changing. A strange signal had reached Earth, the same strange shockwave moving across the galaxy. The message was clear: something big was coming, and Earth could no longer stay silent. Mira turned to her first officer. "Prepare the ship. We're heading to the battlefront." The officer nodded. "All systems ready, Captain. The crew is ready for war." Mira smiled faintly. "Good. Let's show the galaxy what humanity can do." Back on the Dark Talon, the Xylox command grew more worried. They scanned their radar and spotted something moving fast toward their space. It was a large ship, unlike any they had seen before. "Commander, sensors detect an unknown warship approaching our battlefront. It is massive and heavily armed," the science officer said. Zarnak's eyes widened. "A human ship? Impossible. Humans are weak. They have no right to enter our war zone." But the ship came closer. It moved like a predator, fast, silent, and deadly. The Xylox warships moved to block it, but the human ship did not slow down. Suddenly, the human warship sent a signal. It was simple but loud. "This is the Titan X of Earth. We come not to hide. We come to fight." The Xylox commanders were stunned. None had expected this. They whispered among themselves. To face humans now, at the heart of their war, was unexpected and dangerous. Zarnak gave a cold smile. "Then we will teach them their place." The battle was about to begin. The Titan X moved carefully. Captain Mira knew this was more than just a battle of weapons. It was a fight for respect and survival. The aliens had grown arrogant, believing humans were weak. But humans had something else: courage, hope, and technology born from centuries of struggle. As the human ship moved deeper into enemy space, Myra's crew worked together like a single mind. The engineers checked power systems, The weapons officers prepared cannons, and the pilots adjusted their flight paths. Suddenly, the alien fleet opened fire. Bright beams of energy cut through space, aiming to destroy the Titan X. Explosions lit the darkness, but the human ship dodged skillfully. It used fast maneuvers no one expected from such a big ship. Inside the control room, tension rose. "Captain, shields holding but dropping fast. We need to act now," shouted the weapons. Officer Myra nodded. "Fire the plasma cannons. Target their command ships." The huge cannons fired bolts of glowing plasma, hitting alien ships and causing massive damage. The aliens screamed in anger and fear. This was not a small human ship. It was a monster, built for war, but the aliens fought back harder. More ships came from the shadows, surrounding the Titan X. The battle became a deadly dance in space, fast, loud, and dangerous. Meanwhile, on the alien homeworld, the news of the human ship's arrival spread like wildfire. Citizens gathered around giant screens showing the battle. Some were scared, others angry. No one had ever seen humans fight like this before. Why did they come now? Whispered an old soldier. His friend answered, "Because they want to end this war." Their way, the war had lasted too long. Countless worlds were destroyed, millions of lives lost. But the humans, small and distant, suddenly showed they were not just watchers, they were fighters. Back on the Titan X, Captain Mira made a pavade. Decision: activate the experimental weapon. It's our last chance. Her crew hesitated. The weapon was new, dangerous, and never tested in real battle. But Captain, if it fails ... The science officer began. Mira cut him off. "We have no choice. The galaxy must know Earth is here." The weapon powered up inside the ship, a glowing core filled with strange energy. The whole ship hummed louder, and the air seemed to crackle. Suddenly, the weapon fired. A massive shockwave burst from the Titan X, spreading out in all directions. Alien ships caught in the wave were thrown like toys. Some exploded instantly. The battlefield shook with the power of the blast. The Xylox were shocked and scared. Their strongest ships were destroyed by a single human weapon. Panic spread in their ranks. Zarnak shouted, "Fall back, regroup, destroy that ship." But the Titan X moved fast, avoiding attacks and keeping pressure on the enemy. It was no longer a hidden secret. Earth had entered the war, and the galaxy would never be the same. As the shockwave faded, the human ship sent another message: "We are not your enemy unless you make us one." The galaxy will remember this day, the day humanity took its place among the stars. The aliens were silent. They had never faced such power and confidence from humans before. Captain Mira looked out the window again. The stars were no longer cold and silent. They were alive with battle, with hope, and with a new future. The war was just beginning. The sudden shockwave from the human warship had shattered the alien fleet's confidence. For the first time, the mighty Xylox felt fear. Their powerful warships, which once ruled the galaxy without question, were now in danger. The Titan X was no ordinary ship. It was a new kind of threat, strong, fast, and full of surprises. Commander Zarnak stared at the battle display. The aliens' largest warships were damaged or destroyed. Many smaller ships were drifting, their crews lost or hiding. The Xylox fleet was in chaos. But Zarnak was not a leader who gave up easily. "We cannot let this human ship destroy us," he growled. "Bring out the Shadow Fleet. Their stealth technology may be our only hope." The Shadow Fleet was the secret weapon of the Xylox. These were small, fast, and invisible ships trained for sudden strikes and sabotage. They could attack without warning and vanish before the enemy could fight back. Zarnak gave orders. "Send the Shadow Fleet to hunt down the Titan X. They must destroy it before it damages us further." The Shadow Fleet moved like shadows themselves, slipping through the dark of space. But the human ship's sensors were sharp. The Titan X detected the enemy's approach early. Its captain, Myra Collins, stood ready. "Prepare for an ambush," she said calmly. "We know what is coming." Inside the Titan X, the crew worked with perfect focus. The engineers kept the engines running at top speed. The weapons officers readied every cannon and missile. The pilots tightened their grips on the controls. Suddenly, the Shadow Fleet appeared, dozens of fast ships emerging from the darkness. They attacked together, firing lasers and missiles, but the Titan X was prepared. It fired back with heavy plasma bolts, and energy shields flared to block attacks. The battle was fierce and loud, even in the silence of space. The human ship moved with surprising speed for its size. It dodged enemy fire and hit back hard. Many Shadow Fleet ships exploded or fled. The humans were not easy prey. During the fight, Mira watched the battlefield carefully. "Focus on their command ships," she ordered. "Without leadership, the fleet will fall apart." The weapons officers locked their targets and fired. Alien command ships were hit with deadly accuracy. The enemy fleet's control broke down further, but the Xylocs were not done. From the shadows, more warships appeared, larger and more powerful. The aliens wanted to trap the human ship in a deadly net. Zarnak smiled. "Now we crush them." The Titan X was surrounded. Inside the human warship, the mood grew tense. The crew knew the danger. Captain Mira moved quickly from station to station, encouraging her people. "We can do this," she said firmly. "We have something they don't, the human spirit." Her words gave hope. The crew believed in her. They worked harder, faster. The ship's secret weapon was not just the giant plasma cannons. It was the advanced AI system called Athena. Athena was more than a computer. It was a partner, able to think and learn quickly. "Athena, how many enemy ships are around us?" Mira asked. 27 in attack formation, Captain," the AI answered calmly. "Can we escape?" "Probability of escape is low, but not 0. Tactical options suggest aggressive defense combined with rapid maneuvers." Mira nodded. "Let's show them what humans can do." The Titan X fired all its cannons and missiles in a powerful barrage. The explosions lit up the dark space. Some alien ships were destroyed instantly, but others kept coming. The neck tightened. Suddenly, a new threat appeared. Alien fighters, small, fast, and deadly, darted through the battlefield. They aimed to break the human ship's defenses with swarm attacks. Inside the Titan X, alarms rang out. The fighters were too many. "Deploy defense drones," Mira ordered. Small robotic drones launched from the ship. They flew in waves, attacking the alien fighters with lasers and missiles. The drones moved fast, protecting the larger ship. The alien fighters fell, one by one. But the fight was not over. Mira realized the aliens were testing the Titan X, looking for weaknesses. She ordered. "Athena, scan for vulnerabilities in their fleet. Find their weakest point." The AI worked quickly. "Command ship number 6 is isolated and lightly defended. Suggest immediate strike." "Lock on all weapons," Mira said. The ship's weapons locked onto the target and fired with precision. The alien ship exploded in a ball of fire. The Xylocs fleet's morale dropped. They saw their leaders destroyed and felt panic. Zarnak was furious. "We must retreat and rethink. These humans are stronger than we thought." But retreat was not easy. The Titan X kept pressing forward. Far away, on Earth, news of the battle spread quickly. People watched live feeds of the fight. The galaxy's greatest warship, the Titan X, was holding its ground against a massive alien fleet. Children and elders alike cheered. For the first time, humanity was not afraid. They felt proud. Scientists, soldiers, and leaders prepared for what would come next. The Shockwave had changed everything. Back in space, the battle raged on. The Titan X was more than a warship. It was a symbol of hope and strength. Suddenly, the human ship made a bold move. It activated a new ability, the Hyper Jump Booster. This technology allowed the ship to jump a short distance instantly. The Titan X used the booster to suddenly appear behind the enemy fleet. The aliens gasped. They had been so focused on attacking the front that they did not see the human ship come from behind. Attack from the rear. Mira shouted. The ship's plasma cannons fired again, hitting alien ships that thought they were safe. The Xylox fleet was confused and scared. Their formation broke. Ships crashed into each other. In the chaos, the Titan X launched drones to sabotage enemy engines, destroy their power. Mira ordered. The drones attacked quickly, causing more damage. The alien fleet was falling apart. Zarnek shouted in rage, "This is impossible. Humans have no right to be here." But the humans were not finished. Mira's voice was calm and strong. "We fight for peace, but we will not be weak. If you want war, we will give you war." The battle continued for hours. Both sides suffered losses. But the Titan X stayed strong, fighting with skill and courage. Finally, the alien fleet began to retreat. Their ships moved back to safer space. The humans did not chase. They knew this was only the first battle of many. Captain, Mira looked at her crew. "We did well today. But this war is far from over." Her first officer smiled. "We showed them that humans are not weak." Mira nodded. "Yes, but we must prepare for what comes next." Far away, in the shadows of space, other alien fleets watched the battle's result. They began to whisper about the new power, the human warship. Some feared it. Some wanted to challenge it. The galaxy had noticed. Humanity had arrived. The shockwave from the Titan X had left the alien fleet shaken and broken. Commander Zarnak stood on the bridge of the Dark Talon, staring at the flashing red alerts on his control panel. The once mighty Xylox fleet was in disorder. Ships were retreating, some damaged beyond repair. The pride of the Xylox was wounded, and they had never felt such fear before. "Report," Zarnak demanded, his voice sharp. "The enemy ship is still intact, sir," the science officer replied, sweat running down his face. "Our losses are heavy. Many of our ships are out of commission. Morale is low." Zarnak's fists clenched tightly. He paced the bridge. "This cannot continue. We are the strongest species in this sector. We will not fall to a single human ship." But deep inside, even Zarnak felt doubt. The humans fought with courage and skill. Their technology was different and deadly. The galaxy had never seen anything like the Titan X. Meanwhile, aboard the Titan X, Captain Mira Collins and her crew felt the weight of victory, but knew the battle was far from over. They had shocked the galaxy, but the enemy was desperate. "Captain, sensors detect large reinforcements approaching," said the first officer. "The Xylox have called for backup from neighboring fleets." Mira frowned. "How long before they arrive?" "Less than an hour." The crew moved quickly to prepare. Engineers worked to repair the ship's minor damages. Weapons officers recalibrated cannons. The pilots trained for another fight. "We must hold our ground," Mira said firmly. "We can't let them surround us." "The Titan X is AI, Athena." "Scan the incoming fleet. Reinforcements number approximately 100 warships. They are heavily armed." Mira took a deep breath. "Then we will fight harder." The Xylox reinforcements came like a tidal wave. Hundreds of ships filled the dark space, their weapons ready to fire. The humans were outnumbered more than 10 to 1. Commander Zarnak watched from the command deck as the new fleet formed a massive circle around the Titan X. "This time, we will crush the humans," Zarnak said coldly. "Sir," the science officer spoke hesitantly, "there's a strange phenomenon near the battle zone. Unknown energy readings. We cannot identify the source." Zarnak ignored the warning. "Focus on the humans." The battle began again. The Titan X fired first, launching a barrage of plasma bolts and missiles. Explosions rocked the enemy lines. But the alien ships pushed forward relentlessly. Inside the human ship, the crew worked like a well-oiled machine. The tension was high, but so was their determination. "Captain, enemy ships are closing fast," the weapons officer warned. "Shields at 70%. Mira nodded. "Hold the line. Activate countermeasures." The Titan X released flares and energy pulses that confused enemy targeting systems. Several missiles missed their mark. The aliens grew frustrated. Their numbers were great, but the humans refused to break. Suddenly, from the corner of the battle, a strange ship emerged. It was unlike any other. Large, dark, and covered with strange markings. The Xylox fleet recognized it immediately. It was the legendary warship Void Reaper, commanded by the alien war hero Kargan. Kargan was feared across the galaxy. His ship was powerful, with weapons capable of destroying entire planets. His reputation was that of a ruthless warrior who never lost. He looked at the Titan X with hatred. "So the humans think they can challenge us," he growled. "I will end their hope." Kargan ordered his fleet forward. "Attack with everything you have." The battle grew more intense. Kargan's fleet clashed directly with the Titan X. The two great ships exchanged powerful fire. Inside the Titan X, the crew felt the pressure. The Void Reaper's weapons were strong, stronger than anything they had seen. "Captain, shields at 50%, the first officer reported. "If we take another hit like that, we'll be in danger." Mira stayed calm. "Keep firing. We must not show fear." Athena, the AI, calculated new strategies. "Suggest using energy pulse to disable enemy weapons temporarily." Myra nodded. "Prepare the energy pulse." The ship charged a bright beam of energy. It was a risky weapon, powerful but dangerous to use so close to enemy ships. When the pulse fired, it hit Kargan's fleet, temporarily disabling their weapon systems. Many enemy ships lost power and drifted helplessly. Kargan growled in frustration. "This is not over, humans." As the battle continued, panic spread among the alien ranks. The humans were stronger than anyone expected. The news reached the distant worlds of the Xylox Empire. Some alien leaders began to question their war strategy. Why do the humans fight with such courage? What is their secret? In the dark halls of the Xylox Palace, a council gathered. They debated what to do next. One elder said, "We must find the source of their power. The humans hide something." Another argued, "We cannot defeat them by force alone. We need spies and traitors inside their ranks." The council agreed to send secret agents to learn more about humanity. Back on the Titan X, Captain Mira sensed the coming danger. "Athena, increase internal security protocols. Prepare for possible sabotage," the II confirmed. Security measures activated. No unauthorized access allowed. The crew tightened their guard. Everyone knew that winning the battle was not enough. They had to protect their secrets. Meanwhile, deep in the shadows of space, alien spies moved toward the human warship. They disguised themselves as neutral traders to get close. One spy, a cunning alien named Velrax, managed to get aboard the Titan X. Velrax moved silently through the ship's corridors, searching for valuable information. He had orders to find weaknesses and report back, but as he watched the humans, he saw something unexpected: unity, bravery, and trust. The humans were not just fighters. They were a family. Velrax began to question his mission. Was it right to betray such a people? Back on the battlefront, the Titan X faced growing threats. The alien fleets were reorganizing and preparing for another assault. Mira gathered her officers. "We have shown our strength, but the war is far from over. We must prepare for worse." Her first officer nodded. "The aliens will come with more ships and new tactics." Mira said, "Then we will be ready. We fight not just with weapons, but with hope." The Xylox Empire was in panic. Their greatest war hero, Kargan, had failed to destroy the human warship. Their fleets were broken. Their spies were confused. Commander Zarnek made a bold decision. We will call on the ancient weapon, a power so terrible it can destroy worlds. If we must, we will use it to end this war now. The council agreed. The galaxy held its breath. Meanwhile, on the Titan X, Captain Mira prepared for the unknown. The war was becoming more dangerous, more personal. She looked out at the stars and whispered, "We will fight. We will survive. Humanity will rise." The galaxy held its breath. News of the Titan X's power had spread like wildfire. Across the star systems, aliens whispered fearfully about the human warship that shattered fleets with one blast. But what no one knew yet was the secret inside. The ship, a hidden weapon so powerful it could change the fate of the war and the galaxy forever. Deep inside the Titan X, beyond the heavy armor and thick steel walls, lay a chamber no one except Captain Mira Collins and a few trusted officers had ever entered. The chamber was cold and silent. At its center rested the heart of the secret, the weapon code named Aegis. Aegis was not like any weapon seen before. It was an experimental technology developed in secret on Earth after years of research and risk. It had the power to release massive energy waves capable of disabling entire fleets in seconds. But it came with great danger. If misused, it could destroy the ship itself. Captain Mira stood before the chamber, her fingers lightly touching the control panel. She knew that using Aegis meant risking everything. But with the war growing fiercer every day, and the alien forces preparing new attacks, the choice was clear. "We have no other option," she whispered. The Titan X's crew was unaware of the full power hidden deep inside their ship. Most believed their greatest strength was in their plasma cannons, advanced shields, and fast engines. But Captain Mira kept the secret close. Meanwhile, far away, the Xylox Empire prepared for a new strike. Commander Zarnek was angry and desperate. Their losses were heavy, and the humans seemed unstoppable. Zarnek's advisors warned him, "We must be careful. The humans have a secret weapon. We feel its power even now." Zarnek's eyes burned with rage. "Then we must find it. Destroy it before it destroys us." The Xylox sent spies and scouts to search for clues. They watched the Titan X closely, looking for any sign of weakness. Back on the human warship, tension grew. The alien fleets gathered strength for another massive assault. Captain Mira called her officers to the strategy room. "We face overwhelming odds," she said, "but we have something they do not expect. Aegis." Her officers looked surprised but trusted her judgment. "The weapon is risky," the chief engineer warned. "If it fails, it could destroy the entire ship." Myra nodded. "I understand. But if we wait, we will be destroyed. It's time to use it." The officers prepared the ship. The hum of energy in the walls grew louder. The crew felt the power rising. Meanwhile, the alien spies aboard the Titan X moved carefully. Velrax, the cunning agent, watched the humans with growing respect. He slipped through the ship's corridors, trying to find the secret, but the humans were alert. Security was tight. Velrax knew he had to be careful. One mistake could mean death. He paused near the engine room, where the hum of energy was strongest. He felt the ship's power in his bones. Suddenly, alarms sounded. "Intruder detected." Athena's voice echoed. Velrax froze. He had been found. Soldiers quickly surrounded him. He raised his hands but smiled. "You humans fight well," he said. "I am not here to kill. I want to understand." Captain Mira arrived, eyes sharp. "Explain yourself," Velrax spoke honestly. "Your people are strong. Your spirit is rare. In this galaxy, I came to see why." Mira studied him for a long moment, then said, "You are lucky, but the war is not over. We must prepare." The Titan X moved to a secret position near a distant asteroid belt. There, Captain Mira planned to activate Aegis. The ship's crew was tense. Engineers checked every system. Weapons officers loaded the ship for battle. The alien fleets were closing in fast. Zarnak sent his forces to surround the Titan-X. As the enemy came near, Mira gave the order. Activate Aegis. The chamber glowed bright with energy. The ship hummed louder than ever before. Then, with a mighty roar, the weapon fired. A massive energy wave burst out from the Titan-X, spreading across the battlefield like a giant storm. Alien ships caught in the wave were crippled instantly. Their engines failed, their weapons shut down. Many drifted helplessly, easy targets. The shock was complete. The aliens had never faced anything like this. Commander Zarnak watched in horror. Retreat, retreat now. But the damage was done. The Xylox fleet was broken. Back on the Titan-X, the weapons use drained the ship's power. Systems flickered and alarms rang. The chief engineer shouted, "We are losing power." The weapon drained too much energy. Mira remained calm. Prepare emergency backup. The crew worked fast to stabilize the ship. Slowly, power returned. The battle was won, but the cost was clear. After the battle, the crew gathered in the main hall. Captain Mira spoke. "We have shown our strength," she said. "But the war is far from over. The aliens will come back. They will try harder." Her voice was strong, but behind it was worry. "We must be ready. Aegis is a powerful weapon, but it is also dangerous. We must use it wisely." The crew nodded. They understood the risks. Meanwhile, the Xylox Empire was in chaos. Their ancient weapon plans were pushed aside. The humans had a secret power that no one could match. Some alien leaders wanted peace. They saw the humans not as enemies, but as something new, a force that could bring change. Others wanted war. They saw humans as invaders. Commander Zarnak prepared his next move. "The humans have forced our hand," he said. "We will fight to the last star." Deep in space, other alien races watched the battle with growing interest. Some wondered if humans were to be allies or enemies. The galaxy was changing. Captain Mira stood on the bridge, looking at the stars once more. "We fight for peace," she said softly. "But if war comes, we will be ready." Her eyes burned with determination. The war was only beginning. The stars seemed to shake with the echoes of the last battle. The mighty Titan-X had fired its secret weapon, Aegis, and shattered the enemy fleet. But victory came at a price. Inside the Titan-X, the air was tense. Systems flickered, lights dimmed, and the hum of the ship was uneven. The crew worked quickly to keep the ship alive, but the damage was clear. Captain Mira Collins stood firm on the bridge, her eyes scanning the star-filled void. She knew every choice carried weight. Every decision could mean life or death. "Report," she commanded. The chief engineer's voice was tight with worry. "Captain, the ship's core is unstable. Aegis drained too much power. If we don't stabilize it soon, the whole ship could go dark." Mira's jaw tightened. "Options? We can use emergency reserves, but it will leave us vulnerable. If attacked now, we might not survive." Mira nodded slowly. "Prepare. Emergency protocols. Everyone stay alert." Far away, the remnants of the Xylox fleet were regrouping. Commander Zarnak's voice was harsh but steady. "We were beaten today," he admitted to his officers. "But the humans are not invincible. We will find their weakness." The alien officers exchanged worried looks. The Titan-X had shocked the galaxy, but Zarnak was determined. "We will strike at their heart. We will not let this ship live." Back on the Titan-X, the crew felt the pressure. The energy crisis forced them to ration power. Life support was running on backup, weapons were limited, and shields were weaker. Despite the risks, the Titan-X stayed in enemy space. They could not retreat. The galaxy was watching. Humanity had to stand strong. Captain Mira walked among her crew, offering words of hope. "We fight for more than ourselves," she said. "We fight for Earth, for our future." The crew nodded, inspired by her courage. But not all was well inside the ship. A quiet tension grew. Some crew members whispered about the risks of the secret weapon. Others worried about the growing alien threats in the shadows. A saboteur moved silently. Volrax, the alien spy who had once doubted his mission, now struggled with his loyalty. He had seen human bravery, but his orders remained clear. Find a way to weaken the Titan X. One night Volrax crept into the engine room. His hands moved quickly, sabotaging key systems. But before he could finish, an alarm blared. Security breach. Intruder detected. Volrax froze. Soldiers surrounded him. Captain Mira appeared, eyes sharp. "Why betray us?" Volrax looked down. "I wanted to protect my people, but I have seen your strength. I don't know anymore." Mira studied him long. Then she made a choice. "You can help us. But one more betrayal and you will pay." Volrax nodded, a new resolve growing inside him. Meanwhile, the alien fleets prepared their deadliest assault yet. Commander Zarnak gathered his forces. "This is the final battle. We will crush the humans and end this war." The fleet moved in silence, like a storm about to break. The Titan X crew watched the incoming ships with growing fear. The enemy was larger, more powerful, and desperate. Battle began with a roar. Lasers and plasma bolts tore through space. Explosions lit the darkness. The Titan X fought bravely, but the energy crisis limited their weapons and shields. The alien fleet pressed hard. Inside the ship, alarms rang non-stop. "Shields at 30%, shouted the weapons officer. "Huh. Breaches detected." Mira stayed calm. "Hold the line. Focus on defense." The crew worked like never before. Engineers repaired damage. Pilots dodged attacks, but the aliens had a new weapon, massive drones. Designed to tear apart ships. The drones swarmed the Titan X, attacking from all sides. Mira ordered the release of all defense drones. The small robots flew out like a swarm of angry bees. They fought the alien drones fiercely. The battle was brutal and close. Inside the chaos, Volrax helped the crew, using his knowledge to counter alien tactics. His loyalty to humans grew, but he still feared the cost of the war. Suddenly, the Titan X shook violently. A massive explosion rocked the ship. "Critical damage to the core," the engineer shouted. "If this goes, we lose power completely." Mira's heart raced. "Can we fix it?" "We're trying, but time is short." The crew worked faster, sweat on their faces. Every second mattered. Outside, the alien fleet sensed victory. They pushed harder, confident the humans would fall. But Captain Mira refused to give up. "We fight to the end," she said. "For Earth, for humanity." With the last reserves of power, the Titan X fired its plasma cannons in one final, desperate attack. The blast hit the alien flagship, causing massive damage. The enemy faltered. The battle's turning point came. The alien fleet, battered and confused, began to retreat, but the Titan X was weak. The ship's systems flickered. It could not chase. Captain Mira ordered the retreat to a safe distance. The crew cheered quietly. They had survived. After the battle, in the quiet halls of the Titan X, Mira gathered her officers. "We won today," she said, "but the cost was high. The weapon drained too much power. We cannot rely on it every time." Her officers nodded in agreement. "We must find another way," she said. "A way to win without risking the ship." The crew knew the truth. The war was far from over. Meanwhile, in the Xylox Empire, Commander Zarnak was furious. "The humans are stronger than we thought," he admitted. "But we will not stop. We will find a way to destroy them." His voice was dark. "Next time, there will be no mercy." The Titan X floated silently in space, damaged but alive. The stars around seemed quiet again. Captain Mira looked out from the bridge, her eyes filled with determination. "We survived the breaking point," she whispered, "and we will rise stronger." The galaxy watched silently as the Titan X drifted, damaged but undefeated. Captain Mira Collins stood on the bridge, her eyes sharp and steady. The war had pushed her ship and crew to the limits, but she knew this was far from the end. "Commander." Zarnak's threats echoed through the universe. The Xylox were preparing for a final, all-out assault. Their hatred for humanity burned hotter than ever. This battle would decide the fate of many worlds. Mira clenched her fists. "We have come this far. We will not turn back now." The Titan X crew worked day and night to repair the ship. Engineers patched hull breaches, rewired power lines, and restarted damaged systems. Slowly, the ship's heart began to beat stronger, but the captain knew repairs alone would not win the war. They needed a new plan, one that used their strength and intelligence. Mira gathered her officers. "The enemy expects us to fight with weapons alone. But we have something they do not: our mind, our courage, and our will." She looked at the battle maps projected before them. The Xylox fleets were vast, but slow to change tactics. "We will use their weakness against them," she said. "Prepare for a trap." Meanwhile, Commander Zarnak prepared his fleet for the final strike. Thousands of warships filled the dark space, engines glowing red. His plan was simple: crush the Titan X and break human resistance once and for all. But Zarnak did not know about the humans' new strategy. He thought the war would end in a quick victory. His arrogance would be his downfall. The Titan X moved to a narrow star system known for dangerous asteroid fields and unstable space. Storms. It was a place few dared to enter. Mira's plan was to lure the Xylox fleet into the trap dot as the enemy fleet followed. The Titan X weaved skillfully through the asteroids, dodging attacks with precision. Zarnak's ships struggled in the tight space. The larger ships crashed into asteroids or got caught in storms. Mira smiled. "Let them come." Inside the asteroid field, the Titan X activated new technologies, stealth fields and energy shields optimized for the harsh environment. The ship became nearly invisible, slipping through the darkness like a ghost. The alien fleet was trapped. Suddenly, the Titan X fired its secret weapon, a pulse that scrambled enemy sensors and disabled weapons for crucial seconds. In that moment, human drones launched from the ship, attacking the alien vessels from all sides. The battle inside the asteroid field was fierce and chaotic. Alien ships crashed against rocks or exploded in fire. The Titan X struck with speed and power. Captain Mira's crew fought with unmatched courage. The humans were outnumbered, but never outmatched in will. Commander Zarnak's rage grew. Destroy the human ship at all costs. He ordered his fleet to fire everything they had, but the Titan X's shields held strong. The ship danced through the chaos, striking critical targets and avoiding deadly blasts. In the heart of the battle, Velrax, the alien spy turned ally, moved through the ship, helping engineers and pilots. He knew this fight was different. He believed in the humans now. "Your people are strong," he told Captain Mira. "I will stand with you." Mira smiled. "Together we can win." As the battle reached its peak, the Titan X crew prepared their final move, a new weapon built in secret, the Starbreaker. Starbreaker was a powerful beam of concentrated energy, capable of piercing the largest shields and destroying entire fleets. But it required perfect timing and precision. Mira gave the order. "Charge Starbreaker." The ship hummed with energy. As Starbreaker powered up, the entire Titan X shook under the strain. The alien fleet moved to attack again. But this time, the humans were ready, with perfect aim. The Titan X fired the Starbreaker beam. A bright light tore through space, cutting through alien ships like a blade. The beam hit the heart of the enemy fleet, their command center. Explosions rippled across the fleet. Ships collapsed and fled. "Commander!" Zarnak's flagship was hit. He stared in disbelief as his empire began to crumble. The Xylox fleet broke. Ships fled in every direction. Zarnak shouted in rage and defeat. "This is not over, humans." But the damage was done. The Titan X moved out of the asteroid field. Victorious but exhausted, Captain Mira addressed her crew. "You have fought with courage and honor. Today, humanity has shown the galaxy that we are not weak." The crew cheered. They had survived the final reckoning. In the distance, other alien species watched the battle's end. Some admired the humans. Others feared them. The galaxy was changing forever. Captain Mira looked out at the stars. Her heart filled with hope. "We will keep fighting," she said softly. "For peace, for freedom, for humanity's place among the stars." The war was over, for now, but the future was still unwritten.